Yes. This is the plaintiff's motion regarding custody and other matters. The parties are present. Would you both please raise your right hand?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Thank you. The court was advised off the record just a moment ago that Ms. Curran has a multimedia drive that may have some information on it for evidence. We'll address that in a few minutes. This is a motion regarding custody, and I'll defer to Ms. Schultz, but my understanding after reading the file is that the parties, and again, we don't want to refer to the children's names, we just use initials. We have A and E. As I understand it, the court understands, the parties have joint legal custody, physical custody is the father, and as to E, the parties again have joint legal custody, but mother has physical custody. Is that your understanding?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hearn, why do you believe that we need to revisit custody?
Brian has kicked the kids out of his house.
He has what?
He's kicked the kids out of his house.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
So do you want me to just read what I have?
Whatever, however you wish to proceed.
So I'm here today to get full physical custody of my son and his back and mental emotional abuse that I've been going on for years with Brian and the past 2 years with his wife as well. Both of my children have communicated me are hurting from the things that are said to them and the things that go on at Brian's house. Both children have watched Brian and his wife arguing and screaming at each other and on occasion throwing things while they are arguing. As of now, both children have been kicked out of Brian's house on more than one occasion, this last time being the worst. Both children have said they don't feel safe or comfortable in Brian's house anymore. My son has expressed that in the last 2 years of living with his father, he hasn't felt taken care of. In the 2 years Brian has had our son, Brian has not once taken him to a doctor when he was sick, not once did Brian take our son to a dentist, not once did Brian take our son to the eye doctor. As you can see in the text messages provided, Brian seems to be not doing much and Jana is doing Brian's job. When my children who are teenagers don't conform to Brian and Jana's expectations or wants, my children are made to feel like they are terrible human beings. Both of my children have spent time wondering what they did that was so wrong that made them deserve to be treated the way they are treated. On September 11th, my son was caught with a vape at school. My son received a 1-day suspension from school and had to take a vaping class for 5 weeks. From what I was told, my son was punished at Brian's house. When punishment was done, my son was allowed to do things with his friends. From my understanding, sometime between September 11th and the 1st of October, my son made Jana upset by not asking her son to go to a car show with him and his friends. He spent most of the end of September being talked about and told he was pretty much doing everything wrong. I have multiple texts from my son saying he can't handle living there anymore, listening to the fighting and arguing. At one point, our son overheard Jana telling Brian she was sick and tired of our son. On October 1st, Jana lectured our son on the way home from school, saying the school had a video of him buying the vape he was caught with on September 11th. I've contacted Brian to find out why the things that got said to our son were said. As you can see in the text messages provided, that blew up as it does every time. After Brian saying it was up to me now to take Jana's place caring for our son, I did just that. I told our son that we had to go get his things from Brian's house for school the next day. Our son told me he didn't want to go inside of his dad's house alone, so I sent his sister in with him and told them to record in case anything happens. As you can hear in the recording provided, things did happen. I have contacted the school and the school's police officer to find out about the video, and I was told there was no video. So at the end of the day, none of this needed to happen and was all a lie from Brian's wife. As of now, it has been a month and a half and neither child has heard from their father. Both children have expressed their feelings to me. My son refusing to go back to his father's house. My daughter not sure what she has to do to have a decent relationship with her father. I just want what's best for both children to be done today. The mental, verbal, and emotional abuse has to stop somewhere. My goal is not to take Brian out of their life completely, but I feel like something needs to change.
So there's a lot to
There's a ton to this.
unwrap here in what you've stated, but you said that the children were kicked out. When were they last kicked out?
October 1st.
And what do you mean by kicked out?
That's on this because I sent Aiden Brian.
Don't use the child's name.
Our son had to go get his stuff for school the next day after Brian told me to take care of him, which is in the text messages. So I sent our son there to get his stuff. And when he went there, I sent him and his sister both in and told them to record in case anything happened because they were both scared. When they went in, my daughter asked for my son's cell phone that was taken away, and it kind of just blew up from there. All of that is on this.
Okay, so how old are the children?
Our son is 16 and our daughter is 14.
Regarding what the children have said to you, that's hearsay, the court cannot consider that. Just put that out there right now. What are you I mean, obviously you're requesting physical custody of your son, correct?
Correct.
You already have physical custody of your daughter.
Correct.
So what does that look like to you? What do you mean by you wanting to have physical custody? The same regarding your daughter?
I would like the same as what I have with my daughter, Your Honor.
So you would have alternate weekends so far with your son?
So
What is the parenting time schedule?
as it sits right now, we're 1 weekend on, 1 weekend off. Our children are always together on weekends, whether it's at Brian's house or my house.
Okay. Okay,
At this point, neither child wants to go back to Brian's house.
okay, well, that's maybe what the children are saying. The
I
court has to
understand.
find that out independently, but. Mr. Mark's spouse, what is the issue with Mr. Mark's spouse?
On numerous occasions, there's been things said from her. My children say they aren't true. When I ask about it, I'm told everybody's lying. I truly don't know. I do know I have on here Jana telling Aiden, telling our son that some things that I just don't feel like should have been said to him.
Okay. Anything else before I go to Mr. Mark?
I just want this to be solved and the craziness to stop.
Okay. Have you shared with Mr. Marks what's contained on that drive?
I have not. I guess he didn't know that it was that this girl, that our child was recording. This is what is on here.
Okay. Mr. Marks, your response to all this, please.
Can I read off my phone?
Sure,
Absolutely, thank you. Aiden was suspended for vaping in the bathroom at school in September.
And again, please don't use the
Oh,
child.
sorry. He was suspended for 1 day. I found out he lied about where he found the vape from. On October 1st, his phone was taken away. He was told he could have his phone back when he apologized for lying and apologized to a stepfather for another incident we found out where he was being a bully. Instead, he asked me to go move furniture at his mother's house, but this was a lie. He went over there, according to his mother, cried because my wife called him a piece of. After multiple ambush texts from Carrie, Aiden, and Ellie telling me how awful my wife and I were, they ganged up on me often. It was admitted that my wife did not call him that, but she made him feel bad, which I called guilt. Carrie then said she couldn't stand what I was doing to the kid's mental health. She said this weekly to me, and she said she would keep him and wanted his phone. I refused to give her the phone. So she drove the kids over here and sent my daughter in, demanding it from me, while my son snuck upstairs and packed his bags without me knowing. She has been putting my daughter in the middle of this for years, letting her read our text messages, letting her enter the conversations by texting me how terrible I am and telling me how her mother's boyfriend is her real dad and sticking up for her mom. An hour later, the police officer came to my house and told me that, and he explained, and told me that he explained to her that I was allowed to take my son's phone, and he apologized and left. I was in disbelief that my kids would gang up on me and call the police with their mother over a cell phone. Moments later, I found out through text that the phone had concert tickets on it for the following night, which is why it was so important to them. Carrie had my son buy tickets to a band called Suicide Boys for her boyfriend, my daughter, and her son. I expressed to Carrie earlier that I did not approve of them going, especially after she says weekly how bad I am for their mental health. If she was so concerned about it, why send Ellie into arguing me about her brother's phone? Why take them to a band called Suicide Boys? They also missed a day for school for this. At this moment, I decided to be done talking to her because of her lies and accusations of my wife are getting ridiculous. We're receiving numerous texts from her friends telling us that she is going out asking people to dig up dirt on my wife. So I decided to be done talking to her. I told her, fine, keep him. I knew I couldn't reason with her in that moment. And I was processing the fact that they called the police on me for appropriately grounding my son from his phone. So I decided I needed to let the friend of court and my counselor, who I am also seeing to help me and my wife blend our family, direct me on what to do. The friend of court gave me the same forms Carrie turned in for today, but they sat on my table and I didn't know what to do or what to ask for. For years, Carrie has conditioned my kids to think that I'm a bad guy. Now I am afraid that I would look like I am a bad guy for taking their mom to court, and they would hate me even more. Aiden begged me to get custody 2 years ago. And
again, please don't use the child's name. I know you're reading, but.
Aiden begged me to get custody 2 years ago, insisting that his poor grade, bad behavior, had the cops called on him 3 times in 1 week, and a long court case was on him, was due to his anger at living at with his mother, his grandma, and his uncle. So I went to court, and Carrie fought me up until the morning of the hearing. You ordered an investigation, and on that night, she told me I could just have him. I'll be honest, I was always wondering if she was trying to avoid the investigation. Aiden was being homeschooled. I had said no to this because I knew Carrie wouldn't follow through it. She did it anyways, and I found out she quit a few weeks into it, like I assumed what would happen. When I got custody of Aiden, his online school, homeschool, said they assumed that he went back to public school because he hadn't been active for 4 weeks. Aiden said he was just playing video games for those 4 months. And with a great character, often volunteering at church and talking about dual enrollment. My wife, who is part of the Thumb Community Health Partnership, started taking Aiden and
Have you had the children since?
I have not had the children since.
Okay, so this alleged vaping incident regarding this would be the eldest child, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You notice I'm not mentioning the names, the children's names. I was reading in the text, and it was brought up by Ms. Hearn regarding a video. Is there a video of the school, of the purchase?
That's what we were told by the principal. They had him on video.
Okay, but is there a video?
I haven't seen it. That's what the principal has told us.
Okay.
She wasn't involved. When I told her Aiden got caught vaping, she texted me, "Oh darn." And that was it. She didn't want to involve in any punishment. She didn't want to have a conversation with him. She didn't want to co-parent at all with him. So me and my wife.
So after this alleged incident occurred at the school, you disciplined the child, correct? Okay. After you disciplined the child, how quickly was it after that the children stayed at mom's?
It was about the second week. We disciplined the child in mid-September. Then we found out he lied about where he got it from, and he lied about some other things that we were supposed to do.
I'm just talking about the time. I don't care what happened. I just want to know After the discipline, when was it that children didn't see you anymore?
October 1st is when she came.
So about a little less than a month.
Yes.
And regarding dental appointments, sounds like your spouse does a lot of the schedule.
Yes.
Okay. And you have both joint legal custody of both children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to the dental appointments, you have to work together with Ms. Huron regarding scheduling and doing all that, correct? Okay. So, and I know you're working, but you also stated your spouse is working as well. Why didn't you set up the appointments?
She was taking her son and my son at the same day. So she was trying to knock it out at the same day.
Okay. So you could have made the call too,
She went to the dentist that her son has been going to.
right?
So she tried to contact Carrie to make sure that was okay to go to that dentist, to find out Carrie was blocked from it. I don't want to have contact with her at all.
Well, see, there's the problem. There's the problem to begin with. You have to be able to communicate because you both have joint legal custody. And when you hand that off to your spouse, and I'm not being disrespectful here, but when you hand that off to your spouse and you have a mother, your former spouse, or your former significant other, I should say, that has joint legal custody, you understand where the rub can be?
I do understand where the rub can be.
Okay, just flip it here for a moment. Let's just say, hypothetically,
So basically the same thing she's doing with the counselor with Ellie to me.
what, again, two wrongs don't make a right. What I'm trying to make the point here, Mr. Marks, that you can understand how that can rub someone the wrong way.
Oh, I understand that.
Because if she has a significant other and he's setting up the appointment for your child, I don't think you would probably like that either.
I would be fine with that.
You would?
Yes, because they would have went over it with me in a real world.
Who would have went over it with you?
The person that I would have had a conversation with him. She can't have conversations with us. I try to have conversations with her about doing anything, and it's just fighting. So I don't honestly think she's capable of taking care of either one of these children. And I would like to file for custody of them.
Well, that's up to you.
I don't
Right now,
I understand what grounds she has to have full custody of them.
well,
I mean,
first off, it appears to the court that the children were kicked out on October 1st. They've not been with you since, correct?
she will not communicate with me to get them back. So I've emailed the court on, I think, the first week of October. I've been in here twice trying to figure out what to do. I was trying to get advice right here, and all I get told is to file a piece of paper to what to do. So I've been in contact with a friend of the court 3 times and trying to get some advice on what to do with this.
Ms. Schultz, you want to speak about it?
There were emails sent to to the general account, Mr. Holbrook responded to those. And the last response, there were emails beginning of October. The most recent correspondence was October 15th. Because the complaint that was received by our office did not contain specific dates as to the alleged violation, we declined to enforce it.
What am I supposed to do? I mean, she kidnapped my son from me, pretty much. I told him to get out of my house.
Did you hear what you just stated a moment ago? There weren't specific dates.
I don't know what to do with this.
Well,
Okay,
you have two options.
specific dates.
Excuse me, you have two options. First option is you just heard the information provided. Sounds like you need to provide more information. Or number 2, seek counsel. And I'm not telling you what to do, but the friend of the court did receive the complaints, and if they don't have enough information, they can't act upon them. So it's incumbent upon you to address that.
Okay, I was working on getting the dates, and then I get this in the paper. I mean, I have all this stuff, but she beat me to it.
I get it, but have you seen the children at all since October?
I've not gone over there because they called the police on me because I took their phone. If I go over there and try seeing my children, you know what's going to happen. She's going to tell me to get off her property. It's going to be terrible. So I've gone to here.
So her and police were called over a cell phone?
Yes, Your Honor. They were called over the cell phone because once he told me that I was responsible for taking care of Aiden, or our son, our son was going to Carroll School. So did I want him to have a phone? Yes. It's a phone that he's bought and paid for on his own.
So you called police because dad took the phone?
Because the concert.
No, I didn't ask you, sir. Miss, I'm asking you. Did you call police because?
I did, because I'm here, you will hear his wife saying that if I wanted the phone, then that's what I had to do.
Okay, so, and again, they're 16 and 14?
Correct.
Do you want him to have any parenting time at all?
My son at this point would rather not. I personally would like him to have parenting time, possibly without his wife involved, because that seems to be where the issue lies with the children, just from my understanding.
I see in the text messages, there's a comment here, call the cops on me for concert tickets. I'm done.
That was to our son, because that was a conversation between him and our son from my phone.
How well is he doing in school right now?
Right now, well, when I got him, he had all C's, I believe. He is now failing, I believe, 2 classes. He's kind of a mess right now because of everything that's going on, struggling a little bit. I have spoken with him. He understands that he needs to do better than what he's doing right now.
Well, how do you, if he was at a C level before this blow up and now is failing some of these classes, can you explain, other than him being a mess, what's going on?
I do know there are missing homework assignments.
And whose responsibility is that?
I've asked him about them and he's told me that they.
No, I'm asking whose responsibility is that to make sure the homework is
Mine,
done? Who else?
it's my son.
Exactly.
Our son has also missed some days of school due to being sick. He had strep throat at one time and COVID at another time since I've had him.
And do you have doctor's slips?
I do.
Okay. Sir, what's your position on the court reviewing what's contained on that zip?
You go ahead and review it. Can I say something also too?
You'll have an opportunity. I just want to make sure that.
Yeah,
you're
go right
allowed to
ahead.
do that. Okay, that'll be admitted as plaintiff's exhibit 1.
Is she allowed to do that? Come into my house and record me in my own private house without my knowledge?
I can't render legal advice, sir.
Okay, well, I don't want it. I don't want to use them.
Well, I've already admitted it.
Oh, well,
I've already admitted it. So that's why I asked.
okay.
So the court will review that. You communicate with each other via text message, correct?
Only.
You have a smartphone?
Yes.
You have a smartphone? That's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. App close. Court is going to order that both parties are to communicate by app close only. Emergencies are different. God forbid there's an emergency regarding one of your children and you have to make an emergency phone call or text. Get that, I understand that, but Ms. Schultz will provide you the information regarding that app. It's a free app. And what's nice about that app is all communication. You can put in doctor appointments in it, you can put child schedule in it. And by doing so, there is no question of the communication. And if the court needs to retrieve it, or if we need to get copies of it, it's available. We don't actively monitor it, but at least it's available for us to review. What is your position, Mr. Marks, on the friend of the court and myself interviewing the children?
It's gonna, I know how it's gonna be. I mean,
I don't know how it's going to be.
I know exactly how it's gonna be. She's brainwashing children into hating me. It shows it. It shows it in every single thing she does. They're gonna say they wanna live with their mom because they don't have rules over there. As you can see by both of their report cards, and they're missing assignments. As you can see what I was doing with Hayden. I had structure with him. She destroyed everything I did in 2 years in 1 month. 1 month for that kid. And it's not the excuse of Aiden's going through things. Ellie's school is the same thing. Missing assignments. Her whole trimester 2 is 4 F's on it.
But we're here on.
But I'm saying the grounds of his grades isn't because of what he's going through right now. It's because she doesn't parent when she's there. Because it shows, that evidence shows in Ellie's grades that it is not just what Aiden's going through.
Ms. Hearn, tell me about this concert. What's this about?
this concert was planned in months in advance. Brian told me that it was fine. I did ask him about it. He told me it was fine to go. There was a conversation about the band not being great. It's not a great band, but they've also changed, their views, the band has, okay? He's taken them to concerts. I'm not sure where the issue lies with the concert. It was something that was planned in advance, asked his permission. My son paid for it, for him and his sister and I all to go, just so that we could all be together, and they had a ride there. So our children went to the concert and went to school the next day. They did not miss a day of school because of the concert.
Well, you have a moment. I'm just reviewing this text message. Is Kern, with these text messages, who is blue and who is black?
So if you're, like, mine's not colored like yours are, but here, I'm the top. This is my phone
Okay.
here, and then these would be Brian.
Okay. So,
The blue would be Brian, I believe.
okay, so in your text message back, you say, so you're going around spreading rumors about Jay and telling people I called the cops on her. People aren't your
Oh,
friends.
that's him.
That's you. They hear the S you say and just tell us. Yup, just keep lying, loser. Why don't you get a effing life and worry about yourself? All you ever do is ruin your kids' lives. Grow up.
Because we had her friends texting my wife because she was asking her friends to dig up dirt on my wife.
Tell me how this text message helps the children.
It doesn't help the children at all.
So then why do it?
Because I didn't want her going around asking, do you think it's right that someone goes around and asks people about, hey, can you dig up dirt on such and such wife?
But what's the priority here in this court when it comes to?
That's to be telling her that, hey, we know you're going around
You're missing my
asking
point.
us.
You're missing my point. The priority here is the children.
Oh, I realize that.
That's what
why
I
I'm
care
here.
about. Your spouse or your significant other, I'll be honest with you, I don't care. And I mean no disrespect
Oh,
by
I
that, but
understand that.
I'm looking at these children. So you wanted to say something, you get the final word on this. Go ahead.
In the Suicide Boys concert, they're a demonic band. They talk about suicide, killing each other. I took them to a Christian concert. That's where I go. She wanted to go to that concert because I want to look good to the kids, not to do the right things. She's more important. She's more worried about being a friend to these children and directing these children to have a good life. I'm not worried about being their friend. I'm worried about getting them. My job is to get them out into the world to make sure they're successful. She's more worried about them liking her.
Well, what the court is going to do is the court will take that zip drive and review it. The court is going to schedule a meeting with the children. They will meet with the court and myself. And it only goes to one of the 12 factors the court has considered. There are 12 factors to determine regarding custody. I've not even made a finding yet whether there's probable cause or should get probable cause or change in circumstance. I'd like the opportunity to speak with the children, review that exhibit, and one of two things will happen. Either one, after the interview and reviewing that, the court can either issue a written opinion or bring you back into the courtroom to determine where we move forward in this case. At this point, I think what we'll do is schedule a court date. Well, let me ask it this way. The children get out of school what time?
3. Well,
3.
Aiden, well, our son is in care of, so he's out at 3:20, and then our daughter is out at 3 in Lakers.
Do they have any holidays or anything like that where they get out a half day or anything like that? I don't want them to miss school.
Possibly around Thanksgiving time, they should.
I don't want to wait
Yeah.
that long.
Yeah,
I'll have it arranged about Tuesday after school.
oh, okay,
Can you bring the children in?
I can.
Okay. Here's one word of advice. And this, and at our last time we did this, Mr. Holwick and I had interviewed a child. And I can tell you, when I spoke and we had spoken with the child, you could tell the child was coached. We see that. And we're trained to spot that.
Guaranteed, good.
I don't want anything said to these children regarding what you have to say or how you have to say it. You're meeting with the judge. That's it. Well, what am I supposed to tell the judge? The only thing you can tell the child is, or the children, tell the judge the truth. That's it. Well, what's the truth? The truth is the truth, period. If the children are coached, the court and Mr. Holwick or Ms. Schultz will notice that. And that goes in our determination here, whether there's proper cause or change in circumstance as well. Right now, I'm right in the middle because we have potentially an issue of children not wanting to go to their fathers because either they don't like it, or two, the disciplinary issue. On the flip side, potentially mom being a friend rather than a parent. And I said potentially. I don't know yet until I speak with these children. But one thing I think you need to do, both of you, is regarding the communication. I know that Mr. Marks, he said it, doesn't want to speak with you or address you regarding the children. You have to overcome that, both of you. And so when it comes to dental appointments, doctor appointments, school, Dad, you're the number one. Mom, you're the number one. And I'm not casting any aspersions upon your significant others. That's not what I'm saying. But it's easy to say, for instance, well, if her boyfriend, quote unquote, set up an appointment, it wouldn't bother me. I don't know about that, because it didn't bother me. I'm just being honest. If my spouse and I had a child that, you know, we're divorced, for instance, my hypothetical, and I find out her boyfriend is doing scheduling, I'd be a little upset about that. Just me. But I want to speak with the children Tuesday.
Yes, and then we can come back on that Friday.
Then we'll come back next Friday.
Yeah.
Can you be both available next Friday?
I mean, if I get legal counsel, they come with me next Friday?
Sure, that's up to you. But again, no coaching, no nothing. The court will reserve decision on this. Prior orders will remain in effect. And in the meantime, I don't know, this is an old file, so I'm assuming there are no orders relative to communication. There are no orders relative to derogatory comments.
I'm not aware that those provisions are contained within the order. They generally handle parenting on their own.
That's fine. Yep, that's fine. Okay. Whenever you get help.
So the court is going to include two provisions as well. First, I mentioned app close, and Ms. Schultz will give you that information. Number two, no derogatory comments about the other party or the party's family or friends. In other words, you know, dad's pet beat, or mom is this, or your boyfriend is this, or your girlfriend is that. None of that. Next, no adult topics regarding the case. We don't need to be talking to our children about, well, I'm fighting for custody for you because dad is this, or because mom is doing that. None of that either. Let them be 16 and 14. Most importantly, though, sounds like the grades are slipping rather significantly. Both parents need to be working with the school district to take care of that.
Your Honor, my daughter is not failing any classes right now. I don't know what he's looking at.
Skyward? She doesn't even have a login for it.
I do. I actually got it all
Okay,
changed.
we don't need to argue between the two of you. I made the reference. We'll find out. But you need to be on the same page for this.
Well, from yesterday on her Skyward.
Mr. Marks, we don't need to poke the bear.
Okay, I'm not. I'm just showing her what she should.
But that's what we'll do, meet with the children Tuesday. And I do meet with them, we meet with them one at a time. And after we're done, before we even start, I tell them, number one, anything you tell us will not be shared with either parent. You have to trust us on that. And the reason we do that is because I want the child to feel comfortable in telling us what may be going on. And number two, after the meeting is over, the child doesn't have to say a word to either of you about what was said. If they want to, that's up to them. I can't control that. But I want to make it a comfortable environment for them to speak. And yes, there are situations where it's a bad situation. There are other situations where one parent is a disciplinarian and the other parent is a friend, and we see that too. I don't know what we have here, but we're going to find out. But we need to come to consensus here because we have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm assuming the 16-year-old was suspended for a short time.
1 day.
That's not good. And so we want to make sure we address it appropriately. We'll see you next Friday. That'll be all. Thank you. And you have grades and stuff?
Yeah.
That's on paper there?
I have Aiden's. I only have Ellie's on my phone.
Okay. Well,
I
you've
can
already,
email those to you if you'd like, though.
why don't you bring them with you next week?
I can do that.
And
Along with these.
actually, any problem with the court looking at the grades that he has there?
No, as long as they're,
Then we'll take his paperwork as well.
Yeah, these are just printed off the stat words.
That'll be defendant's one.
Mhm.
And you can give that to Mr. James. The zip drive will go off the record. We'll see you next Friday.
One of those are from Behaviour and the rest.
Regarding the minor child's son in this matter, again, we don't use the children's names. The parties are present in this case. Would you both please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Just to be very concise on this, there are no minor children in the courtroom, correct? Okay, thank you. All right, the court, just want to address a couple of things. Number one, the court had the opportunity to speak with your son, and I want to say you have a very bright young man.
thank you.
So, very good to know. We did not speak with your daughter, because actually for two reasons. One, the motion doesn't involve her, but more importantly, no disrespect, but she was quite ill too.
Yes.
So we need not address that. But there's another issue in this matter. The friend of the court had received an email, I believe this morning, regarding an objection to the zip drive, which was properly admitted in this case. It wasn't objected to by either of the parties. It was objected to by a non-party. That non-party has no standing regarding that issue. I've reviewed it, and I'm just going to give it whatever weight it's due. But I will tell you this. Obviously, it's concerning as to what the court heard. It's equally concerning regarding a minor child going into the home and being reported. Two wrongs don't make a right. And that's the last thing you want to do is putting a young child in the middle of a dispute involving the parents. But I think we need to grow up from that. Both parties. The court, after speaking with the child, after reviewing the motion in this case, I know Mr. Marks wishes to bring the grades forward, but the court doesn't need them at this point because after my review of this matter, if there's any motion regarding a change of custody, there must be either proper cause or a change in circumstance. And what this court finds relative to that is this. We have a situation involving a 16-year-old. The 16-year-old has been primarily with father, the younger daughter with mom. There's no question regarding, I'll say just for lack of a better word, kind of a blow up at the residence. Things were said, I believe, that I would think of as if you had the time to be cool and calm and collected about it, those words wouldn't be spoken. That's how I look at this case. What I also see is a parent who may be more in the disciplinary phase rather than being a buddy or a friend. And there are rules, more rules regarding one parent than the other parent. And this is where it comes to the communication between the parties. You probably, were you in the courtroom this morning when we did the last divorce case? Sir, were you in the courtroom as well? And I say this every case, and I'm going to say it in your case as well. How you act and how you interact mostly with each other, most importantly with each other, these children see that. And once they see that, it kind of gives them the license. Well, if a certain parent acts that way, I can act that way because that's how my parent acts. And if you're throwing barbs at each other, if you have a dispute between the two of you regarding how to discipline or how to do this or how to do that, you have to come to a common ground. And if you don't come to a common ground, that's where a child can play one parent over the other. And again, you have a bright young man. Sounds like he has a future ahead of him. And I won't go into what the child said. I will not. I promised the child I would not. But after Mr. Holdwick and I have had the opportunity to speak with that child, it's clear to the court that the primary issue here is being able to work together as parents as it pertains to discipline, as it pertains to having a common ground. Now, there's another part of this as well, and that could be frustration of a step-parent. And it is difficult to sit on the sidelines and keep one's mouth shut. It applies to any step-parent. And it appears to me that there is frustration regarding the step-parent, but at the end of the day, I'm not seeing anything from the step-parent that would indicate to me that it's causing harm to the child. It's a matter of, well, I can do something here, but I can't do it here. And that's the problem. So when I analyze all this, this court does not find either proper cause or change in circumstances. What I do find, though, is despite whatever differences the two of you have to be able to communicate the best interest of this child, period. When it comes to stepmom, obviously cares to this court, obviously cares for Mr. Marks. They have a relationship and understanding that. But you have to be able to hold back a bit and look, you're my significant other. This is my child. I have to address this. I don't need to hear any words about it because I'm not holding anyone here at fault. I'm not. But there has to be, as I said before, the ability of the parents, mom and dad, be able to work these things out. As a result, the motion is respectfully denied. Prior orders will remain in effect in this case, and let's put a common front forward. You're done.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I have a stepson that lives in our household, and a lot of things were said about him, and we aren't comfortable with Aiden coming back currently. There was a lot of stuff said at school about him. He's trying to defend our family's side at school. There's a big disconnect right there. He's in my.
You're telling me that you don't want your child back home?
No, I don't know what to do because there was stuff said. I've learned in the last week, I've learned a lot of things that were said about me, my wife, and my stepchild. And we are very uncomfortable with the situation of coming back on what the dimension of the household will be. So I am asking what kind of advice I could get from the court on what to do. I'm kind of stuck with that.
I'm not going to, and I can't provide legal advice.
Okay.
It's a matter of sitting down as adults and having that discussion, having the discussion with your stepson, and understand It's the same approach. You have to be able to work together. You know, it's real easy for me to sit back here and just pronounce all this stuff. I get that. But if you don't do that, you see what can happen.
Yes, and then the second one I have, he's pretty much failed his first semester of his new school because of what had happened.
Your son.
Yes, my son has. He's 28 assignments missing behind. So now I have to stick with him and work to midnight again to get him back on track. The same thing I had to do the last time I had to take him over. I think she should take some burden of that of helping him catch up in
She filed a
school.
motion for custody. She would be taken if the court granted the motion. That's why you need to sit down. I know it's difficult as all get out to do it. But if you sit down as adults and say, hey, look, you know, we have to do all this homework all over again. Sit down with her.
I can't.
Well, if you don't do that, you're not co-parenting. And if a motion for custody comes back up, the willingness and ability of each parent to work with the other, that could flip custody.
We co-parent with another family perfectly fine, but when it comes to co-parenting,
Then take the skills you have in that family and apply it to this
we've tried to do that, but the breakdown comes back.
one. You need
And I don't know how to.
both parties need to try harder. Mr. Holbrook is standing up. Mr. Holbrook,
If you can make a recommendation, Your Honor, to the court,
go ahead.
I would recommend that for this file, with parties and children, be enrolled in some sort of family counseling. Ms. Schultz did inform me that we would be able to help provide payment for up to 3 sessions of family counseling. And I would also recommend that both parties enroll in the online parenting programs by able to adjust. It's an 8-hour high conflict co-parenting course online that they could take and then provide certification. Their complete certificate to the front of the court office once completed.
I'm ordering that. We can pay up to 3 free sessions. So it's not a matter of, I'm forcing you to sit down. Now you have someone that can work with you on that. You raised your hand.
I don't even know what I want to say.
That's okay. Well, the friend of the court's always available if you have
I
questions.
do want to say thank you for talking to our son. He enjoyed the conversation.
Both of you, you should be proud of him.
I
know you are.
I don't know how this outcome is going to go.
I don't know if he wants to.
I don't think.
Well,
I mean, I came here today to put a proposal to her. If she wants to take full custody of both of the children off for 6 months to do that, to be able to have. I don't want these children to think I'm a bad person from taking them away from their mom. I would be agreement if she would like to take full custody, well, physical, not legal, for 6 months under a guideline that has to be maintained grades. Children have to go to school on time, can't miss without reasonable. And in 6 months, I'd reevaluate that. And if nothing has changed, then I would like to file for both children.
what about support? That changes the support amount.
I'll do whatever is necessary. I don't want my children to be pissed at me, upset at me because I took them from their parents when that's not what they want. If that is, I'm not going to get teamwork from him if that's not what he wants to do.
I get it, but who's calling the shots here? Your child or you?
Everybody is. I don't know what to do. I mean, if they don't want to be with me, I don't want to force them.
If you wish to do that, you can file the motion. I am ordering is what Mr. Holdwick recommended. Let's see how that goes first.
Okay.
And if you want to come up with another agreement, even if it's next week or whatever, contact the friend of the court, let them know, and they can prepare the paperwork.
Okay.
Because I appreciate the offer, but the support amount's going to change. And then let's say it's 6 months. Let's say things haven't changed. Now you come back before the court. Now I have a child who still doesn't want to go back. See what I'm saying? And we can't empower the child. We have to be parents. And I know both of you can do that. It's difficult. I get it. I have 3 of my own. I understand.
I remember now. I have tried to co-parent, but it's always us, me, him, and the wife. I feel like it needs to be me and him.
Well, you heard me say the decisions have to be made between the 2 of you. Now, you can't dismiss stepmom because stepmom's in the family. If you have a significant other, the same is going to apply. And I would have to assume with family counseling, if there are other step parents involved, they would be involved in it too, potentially. And I see them both nodding from the front of the court's office. You know, I'm not trying to do the let's just hold hands and sing Kumbaya thing. I'm not trying to say that, but I am saying that because there has to be that united front. So the online parenting, I'm assuming, Mr. Holdwick, they can get that information from your office,
Yes.
as well as the family counseling side. We need to pick a.
Generally, when we're paying for sessions from our 4D fund, the parties would agree on a counselor. If they can't, they're always welcome to contact a friend of the court office, but they set up the sessions and just have them.
So each of you need to sit down, both of you need to sit down and figure out whom you wish. If you can't figure it out, contact the front of the court.
So do I send my son back today then?
I've made my order. And if you wish to talk to Mr. Marks about that, that's up to you. It's up to both of you. Understand that well, let me back up a bit. This is not going to be the type of thing where you can just say, you know, you're coming here today. It's not. But if you have a sit down and address it in therapy sessions, maybe that can change. So, for lack of a better phrase, play it by ear. You have to. You have to. I wish you both the very best. Good luck. Hopefully daughter's feeling better too. This is the plaintiff's motion regarding returning of items, alleged harassment, as well as a show cause filed by the friend of the court on November 5th. The parties are present. Ms. Oswald's in the courtroom. Mr. Page appears via Zoom from Canton, Michigan. Will both parties please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, these are mom's motions, and there's a show cause as well. Again, we don't use the children or child's name. You can use an initial if you wish, but what we have here, I guess let's begin with the show cause.
There is a show cause against each.
Oh, each? Okay, go ahead, Ms. Schultz.
There is a show cause against Mr. Page for failure to timely exchange the child pursuant to the parenting time order. There is a show cause against Ms. Oswald for not allowing Mr. Page access to the child's medical records.
Okay. Well, which show cause was filed first? I'm assuming it was the medical records.
They were filed on the same day.
Same day. Okay. Okay. Let's begin with the medical records. Mr. Page, what
Yes,
is
sir.
the issue with medical records? What's going on?
Well, originally, my daughter's original doctors were in Beaumont Corwell Health. And according to Miss Oswald, I was told that she goes to Hall and Dale's.
Hills and Dales.
Hills and Dales. My apologies.
No, you don't have to
so
apologize.
I was trying to acquire information about what was going on with my daughter because she had been complaining to me for a while that her legs were hurting and she was getting stomach cramps and that her private areas were itchy. So I didn't know what the issue was. I didn't know if Miss Oswald was doing something about it. I never got any information on it. So Halloween, my daughter could barely walk, like to the point to where she was crying because of how bad she was in
How old is
pain.
the child, sir?
She should be 7 on the 16th.
Okay, okay. Tomorrow,
Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is her birthday.
okay. So Halloween, she could barely walk. Go ahead.
So that following weekend when I retrieved my daughter back, I took her to the emergency room, and they told me that she had a UTI. Well, I also asked them that when was the last time my daughter had been in to see a doctor or gotten shots or anything, and the lady informed me that my daughter had not been to a hospital since October 14th of 2022.
Over 2
So
years ago.
correct. So I once again asked Miss Oswald what was going on with that, and that's when she told me the hospital. Well, when I called the hospital to get information, I was told that I wasn't allowed to get her information because I wasn't on a list of participants to be able to get her medical records when I'm legally obligated to have
Okay,
access to her medical records.
did you provide the hospital then with your paperwork saying that you have joint legal custody?
I did not. I shouldn't have. They didn't even ask. Like,
Okay. Has the
When-
situation been remedied since then?
not that I know of, sir. Not to my
So-
knowledge at all.
I'm assuming then you contacted Hills and Dales recently and they still haven't turned anything over?
No, sir, they have not.
When did you contact Hills and Dales last?
Let me check my call log and I'll give you one.
Sure.
I'll give you that exact date. I last called them November 9th at 11:37 in the morning.
Okay, very good. Ms. Oswald, your response.
I've taken her to the doctor's office multiple times and of late. She sees Angie Weber. The leg pain is because she's going through another growth spurt, sir. Just from,
Okay, I'm not concerned about the issues with the child. I'm talking about access to the records.
I've never denied that he couldn't get the records. I just have to clear up, I guess, with more paperwork and information for them.
Okay. When
So I
can you
can
do that?
stop by there after I leave here when I'm on my way to work.
And let them know that father has joint legal custody
Yes,
and
sir.
put him on the list. Okay. And you'll do that today?
I will do it on my way through town.
Okay. Mr. Page, did you hear that, sir?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. So it sounds
I
like
greatly appreciate it.
great. So I'm hoping sometime this afternoon, if you make a call there, you should have access. I'll hold on to that one. Let's talk about the allegations of failing to exchange the child with mother timely. Ms. Oswald, what happened?
It's been on multiple occasions that he has shown up late to drop off and or pick up. It's gotten to the point where on Halloween, he was 55 minutes late. He has had multiple occasions where it's been, he doesn't contact me back. He doesn't let me know ahead of time, hey, we're gonna be late. He doesn't communicate anything. Like, I'm literally stuck sitting in Emily City until he shows up. That's over an hour away from home.
Where do you meet in Emily City?
You have us meeting at the Tim Hortons Wendy's in Emily City on the corner of Newark and 53.
Yep. And so the last incident would have been at least 55 minutes, an hour, essentially, that you said, right?
Yeah,
So did you attempt to make contact with father regarding status?
multiple times.
What happened?
No response, no answering, no opening of anything. He completely ignored me.
Are you using app close?
That's the only way that I contact him, sir.
Okay, very good. Mr. Page, your response, sir.
Well, First time my phone died while we were trick or treating, and while I was attempting to charge it, I thought about it. Me driving down there for my daughter to only get 10 minutes trick or treating is that's not fair to her. So I I
So
don't
you're
understand.
saying because the phone wasn't charged, you were not able to communicate with mother?
That is the reason why I wasn't able to communicate. On my drive up, I experienced construction. There's been construction going on down here for I don't know how long. Almost every freeway is under construction everywhere I drive. I
Okay,
cannot
you're
control traffic. Like even if I leave 2 hours early, I can't determine how traffic's gonna be when I'm looking at my Google Maps, Your Honor.
So, and Ms. Oswald stating this has happened more than once. Are you saying that your phone was not charged every time you're
No, not
transit?
every time. Not every time, Your Honor. Just only on Halloween day.
Okay. What time is the child to be returned? What time are you supposed to meet, sir?
6 p.m.
Okay.
At Halloween, it was 8:30.
Okay. Bob, any other comments relative to this?
My only other issue is with the timing. It's been multiple occasions, like the last time, she didn't get returned until 11 after 6. Before that, he's been up to a half an hour late on a lot of occasions dealing with it. I've listed as many as I could remember, and I can pull out of the app closed because I check in and I check out every time that I pull into the restaurant and every time that he pulls up and either drops her off or picks her up.
All right, what about the returning of items? I believe these are the video games.
I am still waiting on all 4 video games that you told him to return. I am now waiting on one of her fleece lined jackets I had just recently purchased from Dunham's. I'm waiting on her Reebok underwear to be returned because when he finally took her to the ER, as he stated, he finally, for the first time in months, changed her underwear while she was down there and has not returned her things.
So we're talking the video games, fleece lined jacket, and Reebok undergarments, correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Page, your response?
My response to the whole changing of the underwear thing is hearsay because I make sure my daughter's underwear is changed every day. The Reebok, the jacket that she's stating to, we visited my girlfriend's parents' home and my daughter left the jacket in the house. We had to wait for her parents to be able to get the jacket back. I do have her jacket back. She will receive her jacket back today when I go to pick my child up today. I've sent my daughter home with her video games. She's literally went home with her video game since the last time Miss Oswald allowed my child to bring her video game down here to visit with me.
How
They
old
are
is the
not in my
child?
possession.
She'll
She's
be
6.
7 tomorrow.
7 tomorrow.
Your Honor, may I just add that the issue of the video games was addressed by the court on August 30th?
I remember that. Yep, and it was supposed to be returned.
If
If he had them.
he had them.
Right, if he had them. So he had them.
My daughter told me multiple occasions that one of the games is sitting on a shelf at her father's house. She just can't get to it. She's not sure what happens to the other 3 games though.
Mr. Page?
There are no shows.
I can't accept anything a child that's hearsay, but are there any games at the house, sir?
No, sir, they are not.
Now, this child is 7 years of age, soon to be 7. Right, child?
Very
Correct.
much.
Okay, able to speak?
Very well.
Correct.
Good. I can nip this right in the bud right now and have an interview with the child just to court.
I would love for you to do that, please.
And let's get this taken care of. Mr. Page, what do you think of that?
No problem.
It's Kids Week next week, I guess.
Sometimes.
What time does she get out of school?
She gets out of school. School releases between 12:45 and 12:50, so they're on the bus by 3 o'clock.
So what time Well, I'll just
That's
ask you, Satch, do you have a date here?
No, the 19th,
How about the 19th?
I can make that work, sir.
What time?
right after school, what time have you got time?
I can get her out of the school at no later than 2:50.
I just don't want her to miss any school.
Oh, no, I totally understand that. By the time that they actually start releasing kids, they start off with releasing the kindergartners out. The way that Ubly does it is if you're picking kids up, the kindergartners are released at 2:45. The first grade on up are released after the kindergartners, so the kindergartners have the first time out with parents. So I can have her in my possession at 2:50.
So whatever time.
And
you
it'll
get
take us
here,
about 15 minutes to get here.
Okay.
and after 3,
Yeah.
and then we can come back then.
Now, and the court is only going to be focused on the video games. That's it. I just want to get this taken care of. It was argued in August. Let's just get it done.
It's been an ongoing situation since about December of last year that I brought it up to you guys.
Right. So we're going to nip it in the bud next week.
I greatly appreciate that.
So we will do that. Now, remember, anything the child says is confidential. I don't
Oh, yeah.
share it with anyone. I'm not asking about who's the better parent. I'm not asking any of that. I'm just focused on this minor issue so we can get it addressed, because it may be minor to the court, but it's major to the parties. So we're going to address it. The other issue is, Mom, you're claiming that father's girlfriend not be a pickup or drop off and no contact over the phone.
That's exactly what I'm asking for, if at all possible, sir.
What's the issue?
At pickup drop off, I've been flipped off. And dealing with the harassment through the text messages, I have as many text messages as I could, and I've received even more since I turned in all my paperwork to you guys.
We've had posted.
She has not had, she texts me, she does not contact me on App Close. I use App Close with Mark, that is the only way that I contact him.
Okay. And
Like, I even woke up this morning to another text from his female. Give me one moment, please.
sure.
Today's message was, I've rescheduled all my meetings so I can listen to all the lies you try to make up about me. I'm usually always off work by 2 at the latest on Fridays. So unless you plan to give Mark more parenting time and let him pick baby up earlier on Fridays, I'll be seeing you. Still always silently sitting in the car as to witness any of the shenanigans you've got planned. We both know you love making it so that Mark has less than 48 hours with D after the drive time. You try to control what happens every second of it too. LOL. It would be in D's.
Okay, I've heard enough. I've heard enough. Mr. Page,
Yes, sir.
is that helping the situation?
It's not. It's not helping the situation, but it also helped her finally take my daughter to the doctor, because I've been telling her for over a year that something was wrong, and she continued to just brush off what I was saying, trying to say that to cure her
Mr.
UTI,
Page?
I could just give her a bath.
Mr. Page, just like you did when you took the child to ER, you have joint legal custody of the child, which means that on your time, because I believe you have every weekend, correct?
Correct.
You have the authority every weekend to take that child to get medical treatment.
I understand that, Your Honor, but when her pediatrics office is only open Monday through Thursday, that's impossible when Miss Oswald has her throughout the week.
Well,
I can
still,
only
but
go
you have
to
equal.
either urgent care or an emergency on the weekend. I can't get to talk to her actual pediatrician throughout the week because I don't have her throughout the week.
Then you schedule something and you show up at an appointment during the week. I mean, I'm just, my concern simply is this. The parties don't want to communicate, in part. Number 2 is we have at least one significant other that's rubbing one of the parties the wrong way. We have issues of returning property. I mean, and I'm not trying to discount this, but we have a very young child that's kind of getting pulled in multiple directions. and this child doesn't deserve that. So when it comes to interacting between mom and dad, and I believe, Mr. Page, your significant other's last name is Smith, Ms. Smith, correct?
Correct.
Okay. But you are there for the pickups and drop-offs, correct?
Correct. I am.
Okay. I'm not saying it's happening. I don't know what's happening over at, in Emily City when the exchanges are done. But I'm assuming this child being 7 years of age, if the cars are parked next to each other, all that has to happen is the child needs to get out of one vehicle and get into the other vehicle. Correct?
The police of Emily City have witnessed that themselves. There's never anything
Do
between.
you have Miss Smith there with you?
Yeah, she is here with me. She's taking
Okay,
care of
I can hear her talking in the background. She's not a
Yes,
party
she's
to
with
this. So I need to hear your
understand.
answer, not her answer to you to tell me.
No, she's not telling me anything. She's just making her statements, and
Okay, well, she's
I'm
not.
addressing your. I'm addressing your
I
question.
understand that, but your answer should be your own answer. But
These are my own answers, Your Honor. I'm
very
addressing
good.
you. Like, there's never any altercation between Miss Oswald or my girlfriend at the time of drop off. There's never any words exchanged. There's nothing. I get out of my car. I pick my daughter up. I put her in my car. We leave.
Well, that's the way it should be.
Emily City Police have witnessed this. There's
Do you have a police
constant.
report?
You can ask
I
Miss
was the one
Oswald
that
that.
contacted
She is
her
the
peace
one that.
officer, so
Time
She
out.
is the one that
Sir,
threatened.
sir,
I don't have a
do you
police
have a-
report from.
Sir, do you have a police report of that?
I do not. Miss Oswald was the one that contacted them, threatening that they were going to pick up my girlfriend, and then turn around the very next week talking about she never said that when it's in the app close app.
Okay.
may I say something, please?
Your motion, last call, go ahead.
Dealing with the peace officer and with the factor of what I had stated to Mr. Page in the app close, I said that the reason why I wanted the peace officer there, hang on, I'm gonna go to the exact message, because I don't want to misword myself.
Was to pick up my girlfriend, and when
No, I never once said his girlfriend. I wanted a peace officer there for pickup, drop off for her being my daughter.
Okay, well.
So this way there was no issue.
I'm nipping this in the bud. Okay, this is what it comes down to. Mr. Page, can you put the camera back on you? There you go, sir. I'm looking at you straight in the eye, and I'm looking at you too, yes. Both of you need to grow up. Period. You are the parents of a soon-to-be 7-year-old child. And this 7-year-old child is, in my opinion, from what I can see, the apple of both of your eyes. You know, in other words, this is your flesh and blood. You love your child, you care for your child, but you cannot help the picking and prodding between the two of you. Goes all the way around here. I'm not saying one is more aggressive than the other. I'm saying that you are setting a terrible example for your soon-to-be 7-year-old child. You have to act in the child's best interest, which simply means this. If it's a medical concern, hey, look, I noticed that she may have issues. She's not walking properly. Send that in app close. Communicate that way. You don't need Miss Smith to do that. You need, and when it comes to the exchanges, it's simple. The child gets out of the vehicle, goes from vehicle A to vehicle B. There's no reason for any bad faces, flipping off people. I'm not saying it's happening because I don't know, but it should be simple. Exchange the child, exchange information, exchange the property, and be done with it. That's all this is. But
I agree with you.
But when you act this way, this child picks up on that. And that's going to affect the child moving forward. So, you know, this is one of my bride's favorite phrases. Knock it off. Be adults, both of you. By being adults, she's going to latch upon that, and she's going to get the child a better understanding and can be a kid. That's all that needs to be done here. So when it comes to, you were reading off this message from Ms. Smith, you know, there's no reason for that, Mr. Page.
May I ask a question?
No,
sir,
no,
please?
I'm making my decision on all this right now. Except for the return of property, because we're going to meet with the child.
Yes, sir.
Regarding I mentioned failure to return items, we're coming back to address that after I've had an opportunity to speak with the child. Regarding alleged harassment, I'm not going to prohibit Ashley Smith from being in the vehicle with father at the exchange. However, Mr. Page, you are responsible for the behaviors of your significant other. And if there is proof provided to the court that Ms. Smith is doing something she should not be doing, I can hold you in contempt. So you have to take control of the situation. And by taking control of the situation, we won't have those issues. We don't need to have the text messages going back and forth between Ms. Smith and mother regarding the child. And it's dad and mom. Period. Regarding the show cause. The show cause regarding timely return of the child. And sir, you're coming in from Canton, so you're coming in from the west side, so I get that. But you did state that you were aware of the construction, and it's been construction and it's delays and all this. You know that. You need to make arrangements to work around that. If it's 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, period. There are no excuses anymore. There are no excuses regarding charging your phone. You will have your phone charged. If you come back before the court and say, well, my phone died or this or that happened, the court's not going to accept that as an excuse. Neither with, well, there's construction or delays. Because if there are construction or delays that are unknown, send a message. That could be considered technically an emergency for dad to either call or text and say, hey, look, I'm running behind. It's a matter of courtesy, common sense. Next, regarding the issue with mother, the child's medical records. Mom is ordered today to go to the treating agency, place dad's name down on the form that he has access, and that'll take care of that matter. So, regarding contempt as to either party, you've been given your last warning, both of you. Contempt is dismissed, clean slate, and we move forward. Dad has access to the records. Dad gets the child back on time. If it comes back before the court, there'll be contempt. It could ding your wallet. It could ding other things too. So putting both parties on notice of that. So the contempt dismissed. The items to be returned, we'll revisit that Friday, 9 o'clock.
And then
Meeting with the child Tuesday. Now, Dad, you're checking in via Zoom. Mom, do you work?
Yes.
you can just check in.
The court administrator is speaking
And
with
then the
Mom
rest
right now.
will
Give me just a moment.
bring the child in chambers. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Oswald, you work?
Yes, sir.
Did you take time off today to be here?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work? I don't want to know the name of it, but what location is it?
It's in Minden City.
Okay,
I usually start at 10 a.m.
I'll let you check in via Zoom.
My boss usually has no problem if I come
Okay.
in because
I'm just giving you the option.
I'm not allowed my cell phone at work.
Okay. So if you want to appear next,
It's easier just to let her know, hey, I do need to be at this location at this time, because my boss is very, very understanding of everything going
fair
on.
enough, fair enough. So you can be here next Friday if you wish to, or via Zoom. Mr. Page, if there are any games that are left, they can be exchanged this weekend and we can get that issue resolved. That's how we'll leave it. We'll see you next Friday.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome. This is the continued motion filed by Ms. Oswald in this matter. She's in the courtroom. Mr. Page appears via the Zoom application. Would you both please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Just a couple of housekeeping matters. This is, as I stated, a continued motion. The court and Ms. Schultz have had the opportunity to speak with D. Notice I said the initial only. And put it this way, she makes me smile. She is a bubbly young individual that I get a charge out of. I mean, she is bright, she's articulate. I don't know what the parents are doing here, but they're doing it right. So both of you need to be, and I've said this before, but maybe I feel this way about all children that I see in these matters, but you need to be very proud of this young individual. I was impressed, to say the least.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
One other housekeeping matter. During our meeting, I personally, with my personal phone, had taken the photograph. Now, I don't share it. And Ms. Schultz was there as well. It's not going anywhere. I'll delete it. But it wasn't meant for anything other than just a.
Big D told me all about the picture.
Okay. So there should be no concerns about that because I, as a court official, will delete it. I have no interest in keeping it, but it was just during this meeting that it just kept flowing and everything kept going well. So that's all it is. That's all it is.
She's just a ball of energy. I understand, sir.
Pardon me?
She's just a ball of energy. I understand, sir.
That's an understatement.
Oh, yeah.
That's an understatement. All I know is that she'll be running for senator or president one of these days too. I mean, this kid is amazing. But Ms. Schultz, is there anything you want to fill in regarding this?
Oh, Your Honor, we did have the chance to speak with D, and the only motion that remains pending before the court today is the return of the personal property.
Right. And I promised Dee that I would not share anything that she had stated, but I can tell you as to how I feel about the conversation. And the long and short of it is, there was nothing that the court could grasp onto to indicate that these games were there. That's all I gotten. But what I did get though, and this is what was previously ordered, if Mr. Page has the games, he has them, it was previously ordered that they be returned. Mr. Page, again, I'll ask you under oath, do you have any of the, it's 4 games, I believe, correct?
Mario Kart, Mario Party, my Yoshi game, which is the Craft World, I believe, and Smash Bros.
Yeah. You have any of those, sir?
No, sir, I do not.
I could not get anything to indicate that he does. So respectfully, the motion is denied. But Mr. Page, if they're under somewhere you can't see them, you discover them, you are required to turn those back over to mom. You understand that?
I understand.
And please, if you do have them, and I'm not doubting you, you're stating it under oath, but if you do have them, don't hold them over the child's head or mom's head. This is not the time or place, especially for a child like that.
I understand, Your Honor.
Okay? So I can't do anything at this point. I have to deny the motion. For what it's worth, have a great Thanksgiving. It's all from the motion regarding parenting time. There's also an objection regarding a friend of the court recommendation. Ms. Walden appears in the courtroom. Mr. Arntz appears via Zoom. Would you both please raise your right hands?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Schultz, where are we at?
Your Honor, the last time that we were here, I believe I placed the friend of the court summary of the recommendation on the record. The court had adjourned the proceedings at Ms. Walden's request to allow the companion file hearing to take place, which did occur last week. And so we are back today on the objections.
Okay. And you'll have to refresh my memory. What was the recommendation?
The friend of the court had recommended that the parties be granted joint legal custody, as well as joint physical custody. It was recommended that on an interim basis, Ms. Walden continue to be granted supervised parenting time. The written recommendation was issued at the end of June. That had actually indicated Thursdays from 5:30 to 7:30, which was the order that was in place at that time. However, that order has subsequently been modified. It is still supervised visitation, but it now occurs on Fridays for 3 hours beginning at 5:30 p.m.
5:30 to 8:30?
5:30 to 8:30, yes. It was also recommended that upon a change in the parenting time provisions of the companion file to include unsupervised visitation or an additional duration of visitation, then at that time, a gradual progressive parenting time schedule will be recommended by the friend of the court office, with the schedule to include school year, holiday, and summer break. That parenting time also be granted any other times that the parties mutually agree. That DJ shall not have direct contact with Z until the further order of the court. That both parties be granted rights of talk time with the minor child. If they cannot agree, that talk time be exercised on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. and that it may include telephone calls, text message, or video conference, such as Skype, FaceTime, or similar applications. Equally shared transportation. It included a recommendation that the parties may elect to have a responsible adult transport the minor child. Responsible adult being defined under FOC policy as an individual over the age of 18 who is known to the child, and a requirement that advance funds be provided to the parent. That Chastity Atwell shall not operate a motor vehicle for purposes of transporting the minor child for any purpose until the further order of the court. The parties continue to utilize the AppFlows application for non-emergency communication, including the calendar feature, for purposes of tracking the child's activities and appointments. That communication be limited to issues involving the minor child. That both parties be prohibited from speaking negatively or in a degrading manner about the other parent, his or her family and household members. And that provision apply to verbal comments, text messaging, and social media posts. That both parties be prohibited from discussing adult topics with or in the presence of the child. That the minor child continue to participate in individual counseling services, and that those services continue at the discretion of the treating therapist. And that both parties will participate in the child's treatment as recommended or requested by the treatment provider. And then we also included a provision that Ms. Walden's monthly support was set at $119 per month. And just so the court is aware, there was an issue reported to the friend of the court as it relates to the visit that was scheduled for last Friday, November 8th, that I would like to have the court address as well.
Okay, what's the issue?
Specifically, the friend of the court office was contacted and provided with some close conversations. That the minor child was not transported. Professional counseling center assists with transportation because the parenting time is supervised transportation from Mr. Arns to Ms. Walden so that she can exercise her visitation at her home. The DHS caseworker was not available Friday afternoon. Mr. Arns had reported to Ms. Walden that he was sick, was unable to transport Z to meet the worker because the department caseworker could not be contacted. The PCC supervisor didn't feel comfortable in having the child transported with a third party. It was reported that Ms. Walden did not know that third party. I don't know if it was someone known to Z. And so Ms. Walden did contact us and did submit a notice of a complaint, but it came in prior to the scheduled start of visitation. I can't enforce until after. So just for the course information, there was an issue with my understanding. She did not get her visit last week.
Okay, great. Ms. Walden, what's going on here? Everything.
Okay. First, is this on YouTube right now?
Yes, it is.
Can I ask the courts to